Imagine the moment you touch down at Austin Bergstrom. You've just signed an offer letter for $100,000 a year. You feel like you've finally cracked the code. You're part of the six-figure club. You're moving to the Silicon Hills, the land of no state income tax, world-class barbecue, and a tech scene that feels like the future. You think to yourself, this is where I build my empire. But while you're looking at the skyline, the math is looking at you. See, in 2026, $100,000 is no longer a wealth-building salary in Austin, Texas. It is a high-end survival wage. You aren't buying a future. You are buying a very expensive temporary subscription to a lifestyle that is designed to keep you at zero every single month. By the time the Austin Premium is finished with your bank account, your purchasing power will have shriveled. You won't feel like a tech professional. You'll feel like someone making $45,000 a decade ago, just with a more expensive view of a construction crane and a higher-priced coffee in your hand. Where did the money go? Why does the no state tax promise feel like a lie once you actually move in? I'm Cole. I don't care about the hype. I care about the variables. Today, we are performing a forensic audit on the Austin Dream. We are going to calculate line by line exactly how a $100,000 salary vanishes in the land of tax-free living. If you've ever wondered why you can earn so much and still have so little, this calculation is for you. Let's start with the bait. The primary reason people move to Texas is the siren song of 0% state income tax. It sounds incredible on paper. Your friends in California are losing nearly 10% to the state. Your friends in New York are losing even more. You think you're getting an automatic 10% raise just by changing your zip code. But here is the calculation the brochures don't show you. The state of Texas still has to function. It still has to pave the roads, fund the schools, and maintain the infrastructure. If they aren't taking that money from your paycheck, where is it coming from? The answer is the property tax pass-through. Texas has some of the highest property taxes in the United States. And if you think you're safe because you're a renter, you are falling for the first trick of the real estate market. Your landlord is not a non-profit organization. When the city of Austin hikes property taxes to fund new infrastructure, your landlord doesn't just eat that cost. They add it to your rent, usually with a little extra margin for themselves. In Austin, you are paying a land tax disguised as a housing cost. A modest one-bedroom in a zip code where you actually want to live, think 78704 or the North Loop, is now averaging between $2,400 and $2,800 a month. That is nearly $30,000 a year just to have a roof over your head. Let's look at the first leak in your bucket. Out of your $100,000, federal taxes, Social Security, and Medicare will take roughly $22,000 right off the top. Then your landlord takes another $30,000 for rent. You haven't even walked outside yet, and $52,000, over half of your gross income, has already evaporated. It's gone before you've even had your first breakfast taco. Does six figures still feel like making it? We've only accounted for taxes and rent. The real drain hasn't even started. Now we enter the most dangerous part of the Austin calculation, the identity tax. Austin isn't just a city, it's a lifestyle brand. When you move here as a professional, there is a social cost of entry that no one talks about. In a boring city, you might drive a 12-year-old Toyota and feel perfectly fine. In Austin, your car is your business card. You'll find yourself looking at a Tesla or a Rivian because that's what's in the parking lot at the office. Even a modest lease for a modern vehicle plus the skyrocketing Texas insurance rates will cost you at least $800 a month. That's another $10,000 a year just to look like you belong in the traffic jam on Mopec. Then there's the networking tax. Austin is a foodie and bevy city. It's a culture of $3 tacos that somehow cost $20 once you add the convenience fee and the tip. You'll find yourself meeting colleagues at coffee shops where a latte is $7. You'll do happy hour networking where 2 cocktails and a small plate of appetizers hit $70 after the service charge. Is it just one drink? If you participate in the social fiber of the city 3 times a week, you are spending roughly $8,000 to $10,000 a year on vibes. You aren't buying nutrition, you are buying the permission to belong to your professional class. Think about the outdoor tax as well. Austin's identity is built on being active. You'll need the $100 a month climbing gym membership. You'll need the $2,000 gravel bike. You'll need the high-end athleisure wear. Why? Because in Austin, your hobbies are how people judge your success. When you add up the social maintenance cost, you are losing another $15,000 a year. We are now at $67,000 in total expenses. You have $33,000 left for everything else. That has to cover your phone, your internet, your groceries, your health insurance premiums, and your student loans. If you have any debt at all, your wealth building potential is now officially zero. To understand why your $100,000 feels so heavy but carries so little weight, we have to look at the ghost of 1990. 30 years ago, if you made $100,000 in Austin, you were the king of the county. You could buy a 4-bedroom house on a 30-year fixed mortgage for around $90,000. Your monthly payment would have been less than $1,000. You would have been building massive equity while your salary stayed high. You would have owned your future. Today, that same house in a decent neighborhood is $650,000. At current interest rates, your mortgage, taxes, and insurance would be over $5,000 a month. On a $100,000 salary, you are mathematically disqualified from buying the very house your parents' generation bought on half that income. This is what I call the ownership gap. You are earning upper-class money, but you are stuck with working-class assets. You have become a high-value tenant. You are essentially working 40 hours a week just to pay the interest on someone else's investment property. You are renting your lifestyle from your employer 1 month at a time. The moment that paycheck stops, the lifestyle vanishes because you don't own the ground you stand on. This realization is the difference between income and wealth. Most people in Austin have the income, but almost none of them have the wealth. So what is the final calculation? Do you just accept that you're a high-paid hamster on a very expensive treadmill? No. You change the variables. The smartest thing a $100,000 earner can do in 2026 is geographical arbitrage. If your job is remote, or if you can find a role in what we call a Tier 3 city, a city that isn't on a top 10 hype list, you can perform a mathematical miracle. If you take that $100,000 and move to a city where a beautiful home is still $300,000, your rent or mortgage drops by 60%. Your social tax disappears because you aren't competing with tech millionaires for a seat at a bar. You aren't buying clothes to impress people who are also broke. By moving the math, you instantly earn a $30,000 a year raise without asking your boss for a single penny. You transform from a struggling professional into a wealth builder. True freedom isn't about having a high salary in a city that eats your money. It's about the margin of sovereignty, the gap between what you earn and what it costs to exist. If you live in Austin and save $500 a month, you are precarious. If you live in a boring suburb and save $4,000 a month, you are becoming a sovereign individual. Stop buying the Austin brand. Start buying your time back. If this calculation made you rethink your zip code, or if you felt the Austin squeeze yourself, hit the subscribe button. We are going to be auditing more cities, more money traps, and more mathematical illusions very soon. Tell me in the comments, what city should I calculate next? Is 6 figures enough to survive where you live? I'm Cole. I'll see you in the next calculation.